There was a time when the curse passed in secret, through blood, through betrayal, through packs too cowardly to face their origin. But the blood moon has risen tenfold, and with it, the final howl must be answered. From the swamps, where the dogmen hunt without law, to the snow-choked caverns where the ancient bloodlines still kneel to the pale alfato, the hollows where cursed children gnaw on silver bones. Each faction has felt the pull, each survivor has seen the mark, and the mark burns, a dead forest split by claw marks, a long-forgotten highway, paw prints frozen in cracked asphalt, a red desert storm circling one lone figure walking with a limp snowfall that burns as it lands. They come from every biome, every breed. A feral dogman limps across scorched farmland, dragging chains still clamped around his forearms. A white-fanged priestess breaks her vow of silence, whispering the old language as her eyes bleed silver. A child survivor, no more than 7, rides the back of a shifter, her teeth already stained red, and a lone hybrid who has never howled before now can't stop. Each one is marked, not just by the curse, but by the burning symbol etched across their chest, a spiral of claws, glowing faintly whenever they take a step closer to the final circle. In the darkest reaches of folklore buried beneath the Wendigo myths and skinwalker fables, there's mention of a stone circle older than any pack. Some say it was never built. It simply appeared the night the curse was first uttered. Only 10 may enter it, only 1 may leave it, but none leave unchanged. 10 tribes, 10 betrayals, 10 howls echoed in 10 directions, but only one mark was true. According to the Codex Lupina, a forbidden scroll kept hidden in the bone crypt beneath Hollow Circle. The tenfold curse was always meant to converge. It is not a curse, it is a test, a crucible. The one who devours the others under the final blood moon does not become free, they become origin. When one consumes all 10, the curse resets or ends. You've followed the blood, you've heard the howls, but not all have seen the end. Stay to the final frame, because when the moon bleeds, only you decide who deserves to survive. Not all who bear the curse choose to answer the call. Some are drawn by blood scent, some by guilt, and others are carried by the ghosts of what they did to survive. 10 survivors walk toward the place where the spiral began. They do not travel together, they do not speak, but they all feel it. A pull beneath the skin, a tightening in the jaw, a silence in the lungs. A dogman with burn scars along his ribs limps down an abandoned mining road. A priestess tucks silver scripture into her robes and kisses the glyphs. A girl walks barefoot through a field of old bones and smiles when one cracks beneath her heel, and a hybrid walks last because he remembers the shape of the circle, even though he's never seen it. They come from desert, swamp, snow, salt, ash, and iron. And yet they all arrive within moments of each other. 10 cursed soulstone marks glowing dimly on 10 chest-sten breaths, held at the edge of an impossible place. The final circle is not just stone, it is ruin, it is memory, it is judgment. 10 obsidian monoliths, taller than trees, form the ring. They are split by ancient claw marks, some of which still drip. At the center, a silver spike driven deep into the earth hums with something like music, but darker. None of them step forward, not yet. The priestess speaks first. I offer a vow. Let none strike until the moon reaches its zenith. Let each speak their tale, why they deserve the last howl. No one answers, but the mark on their chests pulses once, as if acknowledging her voice. Then they feel it, a presence not above, not around, below, a voice not heard with ears, but with bone. 10 remain, 10 truths buried in 10 lies, but only one will howl when the rest are silent. Memories flash, a betrayal beneath moonlight, a pact broken in the snow, a pack abandoned in fire, a mouth filled with blood that wasn't meant to be swallowed. Each cursed sees their worst moment, not as a warning, as a reminder. The hybrid staggers, backward, clutching his chest. The child stares at the priestess and says, "You lied to us. You said we were clean." The dogman cracks his knuckles and says nothing. He just looks at the others and starts to count. 1, 2, 3. He doesn't say what the numbers mean, but everyone knows. They are being watched, weighed, measured. The mark burns hotter. The spiral tightens. The circle wants something, not peace, not redemption. It wants blood. You've seen them gather, but you haven't seen what they'll become. When the circle seals, the first blood will spill. Don't blink, don't breathe. The trial begins next. The circle held for 7 breaths. On the 8th, the first throat was torn open. The priestess steps forward, silver glinting beneath her cloak. "I speak the vow again," she says. "No claws, no teeth. Not until the moon stands highest. Let us speak." Before we spill, the hybrid lowers his eyes. The child nods once. Even the oldest rogue bows his head. But Kriv, the dogman, grins. He does not bow. He does not wait. "You want stories," he growls, "want tales of guilt and sorrow." "Priestess, your order fed me to hunters. You think I forgot?" He steps forward. The mark on his chest flares. "I don't want peace," he says. "I want the last howl." And then he lunges. He doesn't go for the priestess. He goes for the hybrid. Claws slash. The hybrid stumbles, roars, falls to the ground. But he doesn't stay down. He shifts. Bones stretch. Pop, tear, flesh melts. Hands become claws. But his eyes, they stay human. He doesn't run. He doesn't roar. He rips Kriv open beneath the full red moon. Blood floods the stone, and the circle awakens. The mark on every cursed survivor pulses once. Then again, a beat, a countdown. Something ancient moves beneath the stone. Something with teeth. Something listening. Kriv lies twitching. The hybrid stands over him, trembling. Then slowly he kneels and tears out Kriv's throat with his teeth. The circle screams, not aloud. Inside them, the dogman's mark burns away. 1. Spiral gone. 9 remain. The priestess cries out. The child screams. One of the rogues collapses to his knees, vomiting black smoke. The circle was not built to hold peace. It was built to fracture. The ground trembles. The stones crack. The moon flares. And every cursed soul now knows the truth. They were never meant to decide who survives. They were meant to prove who deserves to devour the rest. You've seen the first fall. You've heard the first howl. But this was not the trial. This was the spark. Now comes the fire. With the first death, the circle awakened. But it does not grant judgment. It demands it. The mark on each cursed chest flares again, brighter now. A second pulse, a second warning. Then they begin to change, not slowly, not with ceremony. The transformations come like seizures. Violent, involuntary, wrong. The girl screams as her ribs crack outward. The rogue falls backward, skin boiling into fur. The priestess claws at her throat as silver pours from her mouth. The hybrid falls to all fours, his jaw distending without mercy. This is not the shift of the old bloodlines. This is the curse reclaiming its flesh, forcing it. None of them want to change, but they all do. The circle will not wait. The countdown has started. 10 marks, 1 gone, now another must vanish. The spiral hungers, not just for blood, for devouring. The curse is not lifted by the yoke, kill only by the feast. The girl is the first to understand. She stares at the second rogue, the one who still shakes, who hasn't yet transformed fully. He looks at her with pleading eyes. He mouths the word please. She doesn't respond. She leaps. They tumble across the stone. He tries to shift, too late. She drives a silver shard into his side. He screams. She bites down, not to kill, to consume. The moment his blood hits her tongue, her mark flares, then fades. Another spiral gone. 8 remain. The others hesitate. The priestess drops to her knees. She chants, protection, shield, sanctuary. The silver glows. The glyphs rise, then disintegrate. The circle punishes cowards. The glyphs blacken. Her veins follow. She begins to rot alive. Her skin sags. Her mouth fuses shut. Her eyes burst in their sockets. The hybrid steps forward. He ends her with 1 strike. No scream, just stillness. Another mark fades. 7 remain. Every cursed survivor still breathing now knows what the circle wants. Devour or die, feed the spiral or be consumed by it. They spread out, some to fight, some to stalk, some to hide, but none will escape. The countdown has no mercy. The hybrid paces the stones, his claws red, his eyes hollow. He does not feed again, not yet. The girl watches him. She does not smile. She does not weep. She just breathes. They both know this is not survival, it's the audition for extinction. 4 gone, 6 remain. The circle is narrowing and soon it will choose. The hybrid drops to one knee. He isn't wounded, he's remembering. The spiral on his chest pulses, but it doesn't burn. It calls. He stares at the silver spike in the center of the circle. Its hum becomes louder. It shifts pitch. It begins to speak. Not in words, in memory. He sees a forest of white trees, sees his mother dragging him by the wrist, moonlight splitting her shadow. He remembers the cave, the claw spiral walls, the way she knelt and said, "If the circle finds you, don't answer, not until you know who howled first." The hybrid gasps. The ground beneath him splits, not cracks, opens, he falls. Stone rushes past, air thick with dust and ash. He lands in a chamber of bones. They are not scattered, they are arranged. A spiral, in the center, a body, no, a wolf, still alive, barely, eyes milky, fur pale, ribs showing. It does not move, but its mouth opens, and the hybrid hears everything. The first howl, it was not a curse, it was a cry, a grief so deep it echoed through every pack, every bloodline. It birthed the spiral, not to punish, to remember. The circle was never meant to kill. It was meant to test who would become memory. The hybrid climbs back up. The spiral glows across his spine. He stands among the stones. The others freeze. They see it in him. Something older, something final. The girl walks to him. She opens her arms. "I'm not afraid," she says. He touches her mark. There is no scream. She howls. And then the mark vanishes. She is free. The others stagger. Their marks ripple. The circle stutters. The hybrid breathes deeply. "I remember," he says, "and the circle remembers me." The ground hums once more, a sound like teeth grinding beneath the earth, but no one moves, no one kills, not yet, because the spiral isn't finished. It has one more to reveal, one more truth to feed, and the devouring has just begun. 3 remain, the hybrid, the girl, and the one who never stepped forward. He emerges now, from the shadows behind the largest stone. No scent, no sound, not a man, not a beast, a relic, skin like dried bark, eyes black as oil, bones humming with old glyphs. He steps into the circle and stares at the hybrid. "You remembered," he says. "You unspooled the spiral, now you must finish it." The hybrid says nothing. The girl watches. Still marked, still free, the relic bares his teeth. "Devour me," he says, or it begins again. The hybrid steps back. "I won't kill you," he says. "That's not the way." The relic snarls. "You think this ends in kindness?" He charges. The hybrid dodges again. But the circle will not be denied. The relic begins to rot, glyphs on his chest unraveling, bones shaking. "If you don't take it," he chokes, "it will scatter, it will multiply." The girl screams. The circle begins. Split. The stones crack. The spiral loses shape. 10 marks, no bearer. The curse is about to flood everything. The hybrid closes his eyes. He walks forward, places his hands on the relic's chest, and absorbs it, not devours, takes it in. The glyphs climb his arms, blacken his veins. His eyes burn gold, then white. The relic falls, dead, silent, empty. The hybrid stands alone, no mark, no spiral. The girl is crying. She reaches for him. "Are you still you?" He doesn't answer. He looks up, and the moon is gone. No blood, no howl, just quiet. There is no circle anymore, no spiral, no pulse beneath the earth, just dirt, ash, and wind. The hybrid walks. The girl follows, a few steps behind. Neither speaks. They pass burned trees, bones turned to stone, footprints that vanish behind them. The curse is over, but the world does not feel saved. They stop near a dying fire. He kneels beside it. She sits and waits. The hybrid stares into the flames. He sees faces. The dogman, the priestess, the child who forgave, the relic who begged. They are gone, but not forgotten. He rolls up his sleeve. Where the spiral once burned is only a scar. He touches it and sees them again. The Watcher, the Devourer, the one who walked away, the one who stayed. They all live inside him now. The girl finally asks, what happens if someone howls again? The hybrid looks up, not at her, at the sky. The moon is there, pale, whole, still. He doesn't answer right away. Then, softly, I'll remember. She nods, wraps herself in furs. He stares at the fire until it's only embers. They don't leave. They don't sleep. They wait, and far above them, the moon stays silent, but the wind sounds different, not like a breeze, like breath, the last echo of the last howl. And for those who hunger for more, step deeper into the shadows with our ultimate werewolf horror playlist, linked in the description below. In the world of horror, the scariest things happen when you least expect them. And trust me, you don't want to be left in the dark. Welcome to the darkness.